You know, Dens, I've seen a lot of places in my life. But look at this huge square. Hombre, I've never seen anywhere so big. Look at the size of that column. Have you ever seen such a monument?
Men are capable of building true marvels. What a shame that they show as much ardor in destroying them. But try to stay focused, Esteban. Alas, no time to be tourists.
And each time we step off their path, we find amazing treasures.
Alright, so a lot of stuff happens in this level. It may not be apparent to someone just playing the game normally, but it is to me. First of all, I forgot to mention that the regular bow, not only is it more precise than the crossbow, but you can shoot it faster, so that's pretty good. I think it's a lot more useful, but you don't really get to choose which one you start with, and no matter what, when you're in demon form, you have to use a crossbow. Not that it matters anymore, since we have that giant flame shockwave that's better than everything else we've had so far.
Esteban, let the iron of our blades sing again!
There are a lot of non-enemy NPCs here, but none of them are the Crusaders, unlike before. This level kind of deals with the morality of the situation, and how Dens and Esteban could possibly be viewed as heroes, in spite of everything they've done. It doesn't necessarily deal with it well, but at least you know they were aware of the issue, that the protagonists did not seem like very good people, until about halfway through the game or later. I mean, when you put your protagonist in the 4th Crusade, I can see that being a problem no matter how you try to approach it. Maybe if the characters grew across the course of the journey.
Say, Dens, what's your plan for when we reach the Great Palace? You don't think they're just going to smile and hand us the relic, do you?
I really don't know, Esteban. We'll see when we get there. Like we always do.
I rather like that line because, again, it at least shows you that the writers were self-aware, and so are the characters, of what's happening.
I should have taken more ammo.
It's okay, there's plenty of ammo boxes, Dens. Don't worry about it. This stage does have an abnormal amount of ammo boxes lying around for your bow, which makes me think they intended you to use the bow for normal combat, since there's only one actual shooting section and we already passed it.
Where did Tatakias go? Blends in better here than in hell.
I'm really not sure what that line was supposed to mean. Of course he blends in better here. He hasn't damned his soul for all eternity like we have.
Rain washes the blood from one's armor. There's comfort in that.
You might notice that the enemies have outlines around them now, and that's because for this level I've switched to normal mode so you could see what it looked like. All important objects and even the enemies have glows around them now. They have white or blue glows when they're about to attack so you know when to counterattack. They glow orange when they're about to try and guard break you. And they glow red when they're stunned. I don't like it very much because I can see when they're about to do that just fine by watching their movements. The only way to get rid of those outlines is by using Nightmare mode, and on Nightmare mode they also have way more health. I wish you could turn the outlines off in the options menu somehow instead. I mean, it's a nice aid for people who maybe aren't that good at action games, but you can totally see when they're about to attack without the outlines. So it seems like a waste. Collectibles also glow in normal mode. I think you can see one glowing up there on that wooden platform. It's a coffer. I don't think we've seen a single one through this whole playthrough. When you break open all of them in a level, you get extra experience points. We're not going to do that, though. We're never going to do that. Because, of course, Dens is already fully upgraded, and we can't play as Esteban in single player, so it doesn't matter. So in this level, we're attacking the Crusaders, who we were working with previously, and we're defending the civilians of Constantinople. We're doing this because, like I said, this level tries to give you a better, more positive impression of Dens and Esteban's morals. Some of the things they did were excusable. For example, when they raided Constantinople to take out Merciful, that was excusable because they needed a way to get to Merciful. And after they got to Merciful, they immediately turned on the Crusaders, as we're seeing here. But they still willingly worked with the Crusaders up till that point, even when they felt something was wrong. I believe Dens even said, "I feel something dark is at work here. We better stay around and see what it is." You see how we just chopped that man's legs off? We were doing that to innocent civilians for hours. So I don't think that quite cuts it as an excuse. You can't just say you were solving the mystery like a protagonist, because that only works if the people know you're protagonist, and this game does not break the fourth wall that I'm aware of. For quite a bit of the game, they were motivated by their own selfish desires, and I don't want to say they grew any, because there doesn't seem to be much character development aside from the relationship between Dens and Esteban. But when they realized that exactly what was going wrong, they immediately dropped their goals and decided we need to stop De Montfort right now.
Thank you. But your crimes are not forgiven, evil Crusaders.
Then I'm sorry we just saved your arse, old man. I suggest you hide somewhere, because I won't save it twice.
So in this level we save a lot of civilians. That was only the first one we saved, but we save a lot of them. And Dens and Esteban say some very heroic things, and they take the moral high ground over the other Crusaders, and it's very weird. It feels like the writers were worried that you wouldn't feel that Dens and Esteban were good people, which you probably don't, but that's not how you fix it. We have to save a whole lot of civilians in a row here.
Traitors! Line up with the enemy! In hell! I don't side with them for redemption. I seek only justice.
Justice won't redeem our souls, but it certainly makes me feel better.
Being aware of the issue doesn't fix it. I'm just going to skip to all the important parts of this section.
Run! Overstep your bounds, Templar!
The only thing I'll be stepping on is your neck!
I'll send you to hell, Templar! I've already been there. Have mercy!
When I kill you, I'll feed you to my dogs! And when I kill you, I'll have what's in your pockets!
Alright, I'm sure that didn't seem so bad so far, right? Just some cute quips. We'll get there. They're slowly building up to the righteousness. Slowly. It's kind of funny how cartoonishly evil the other Crusaders are now to make Dens and Esteban seem nicer. Because they definitely still murdered people. But at least they didn't threaten to feed those people they murdered to their dogs, you know? That's just one bit too far. That's over the line.
The Templars and their damned honor! Let them die! Honor. It separates the knight from the thief. The Templar from the false Crusader.
This is my treasure! No one will take it from me!
You disgust me. I never imagined the atrocities this crusade could commit.
The smell of innocent blood makes me sick.
Help! What's wrong with you? Enough blood has been spilled by your greed.
It always makes me laugh how disgusted Dens sounds, because he was murdering people for no reason a lot earlier. I mean, one of the earliest levels was labeled An Unjust Invasion. That's literally what the level was called in-game. And there were people in that level screaming loudly, "What did we do to deserve this?"
Get of the guard! Let's prove our bravery and reap the reward for his head!
De Montfort knows how to reward those who have served him well.
I've always dreamt of taking down an enemy officer. Have you lost your mind? You're on the wrong side. Not madness, but treason. Let's kill them. Esteban, he's going to be outnumbered.
Not the civilian. Let him solve his own problems. We help, and then he turns on us after we're done. time around?
I'll be able to talk him down, trust me.
Madre de Dios! What a fight! Now to see what they've got in their pockets.
I warned you that our alliance would cease at the end of the fight.
You're making a mistake. We are not your foes.
Captain, at last! Here you are!
We are overwhelmed. We must fall back to the palace. Only you can give that order.
Very well. Fall back we shall. Defending the Imperial family is our highest priority.
Tatakios, allow us to join them. The threat that this empire faces goes beyond the sack of its beautiful city.
And you lack men. You cannot turn down 2 more blades in your ranks.
Enough! You too are responsible for the very situation you described. The enemies of my enemies do not have to be my friends.
Let's slaughter these fools!
No. You help me. And for that, I will spare your lives. Consider us even.
But
Grumpy Dense. He's right after all. We're not on the same side. Don't be too hasty, hombre. We will do what we do best. Cling to the shadows at a distance. Oh, come on! Don't be like that! You'll still get your princess, hero!